Shaka Hislop and Stevie Nicol. Will start with the news. It looks like Manchester United have got their man. Reports suggesting that Ruben Amorim could be in charge of the clash against Chelsea this weekend. We spoke about him yesterday, of course, a man that has made quite the reputation at Sporting. When you take a look at what he's achieved there, let's get more, shall we? Jan Åge Fjordtoft joins us, and I don't mean to, but it's us.
Anything now.
Oh, no. Oh, it's all gone wrong. Well, lucky you.
He doesn't hear negative. That's what it is.
That's it.
He does not hear anything negative.
Right. So, for example, Jan, Ruben Amorim, he spoke to Liverpool. We understand he spoke to Bayern Munich as well when they were looking for new coaches. What's the red flag there? Why didn't those moves go ahead? And West Ham as well.
Yeah, I guess the red flag is the flight to West Ham and have a chat with them that he had to excuse afterwards. I think the red. Let's start with the negatives and the red flag. The red flag is, of course, that he did that West Ham trip. I thought that was a bit funny. Strategically, it didn't look good.
Jan, sorry, I'm going to interrupt because people might not know that story. Just explain to us the West Ham story.
It was the end of the season. He was battling with Sporting Lisbon, a club de Sporting, whatever, and he went just suddenly on a plane, put himself in a plane, sat down West Ham, travelled back, and people criticise him for that. That is one red flag. The second red flag, if I can do the positive afterwards, so that Manchester United fans won't find me here in North Norway, is that the red flag is as well, he comes with the same kind of pedigree or same papers as Ten Hag did. He has won in his home country. He did a fantastic job there where he won twice the league titles with them, 18 years since last time, and so on and so on. But I think that this is the positive thing for Manchester United. This wasn't decided this weekend. This weekend, they had 8 clear chances against West Ham, Manchester United. But even if they won that game, you just had a feeling that Ten Hag, that will just give him another week. There was no chance that this was not prepared. Manchester United have gone into the market. They have seen which candidate will suit their best. He's 39 years of age. He's a kind of new, fresh Mourinho kind of type, the old Mourinho who came from Portugal. I think this is a good signing. It's a good appointment by Manchester United and the new owners.
Right, you've got 3 days, say. You've got the Leicester game, obviously, tomorrow. Ruud van Nistelrooy will be in charge. Say that you can then brought in, you've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, ahead of the clash at the weekend against Chelsea. If you're Amorim coming in, what do you do? What are your priorities? How do you get this team back on track?
Well, you've got to figure out how you're going to play. That's the first thing.
So he plays 3-4-3. This is basically the way that he's always played and the way that what he's going to bring to the table.
Well, the problem is if you don't have the players that suit that way of playing, then you're going to get off on the wrong foot.
Right.
And Manchester United don't have those players. You know, when you got 3 at the back, you need 2 of them at the very least to be able to get around, to be quick, to be big and strong. You need somebody in the middle of it to organise it all. Man United don't have that. Johnny Evans, Maguire, De Ligt. De Ligt played in the 3 at Bayern and was awful, alongside Dyer and Upamecano, and it was awful. Martinez, has he got really? I mean, they don't have the players to play 3 at the back. They just don't have them. So, if your whole coaching premise is on 3 at the back and nothing else, then it's going to be tough because you don't have the players to do it.
We talk about new manager bounce, Shaka. You saw plenty of new managers come in during your time. Explain to me the effect this could have on players that are struggling, and explain how important it is to get off to a good start if you're Amorim.
All of a sudden, when a new manager comes in, everybody recognises that it's a clean slate.
Right.
That you're playing for your futures. Whether you were part of the old manager's starting 11 or not, you know you're given a fresh lease of life, as it were, if you weren't in that old manager's plans. And if you were, the fact that he's gone means you weren't playing well enough, or the team wasn't playing well enough, and all of a sudden you've got to step up if you do want to keep hold of your place. So there's that. And then to Stevie's point, or to the previous question, you've got a shortened week because of the midweek fixture. Mm-hmm. You've got a tough test in Chelsea to come, a new formation. That's a lot to ask. I am more thinking that after Chelsea, the next really tough test for Manchester United comes in Arsenal, 4th of December. So now you have the full month of November to try and shape this team up how you want them to play. Get them to understand your philosophy, your formation, what you want, what you expect out of them, and you've got a decent run of games to do that. So right now, and of course, Amorim coming in as it goes without saying, I don't think he'll be judged at all on the Chelsea result. I have a feeling we'll sit here and do exactly that. And then he has to put a stake in the ground and get this team playing, get this team to be his team.
It's a good question. He was on a lot of club shortlist, including the likes of Liverpool, for example, quite recently. I think his age was a little bit of not a red flag, because that's a bit too harsh, but the age was always something that, for top clubs, was something that they looked at. Same with the lack of experience, not so much in Europe, because he's managed a few games in Europe with Sporting, but more the fact that he'd only been a manager in Portugal, and that's it. Has never really gone anywhere else. Yes, he went to look at how Mourinho was working at Manchester United, for example, things like that. But in terms of pure experience, it's Portugal and nothing else. And I think there are still some clubs, clearly not Manchester United, especially after Ten Hag, who believe that going from a minor league, let's say, and this is no offense to the Eredivisie or to the Portugal League, but to go from a minor league or a weaker league, let's say, than the Premier League, straight to the Premier League is a massive gap. A gap that for some is too big. And I guess in a way we saw that with Ten Hag, and I think that's what some clubs were maybe slightly put off by Amorim just coming straight from Portugal into the Premier League, into a top club.
They are recruiting players, but they know that the Ten Hag, they know, and if they didn't know in the summer that Ten Hag got a chance to leave, my God, they were interviewing other managers while he was there. So I think that will be the problem for Amorim, how long he will take. I'm not with Xhaka that he will have a lot of time, because he has to start winning the fans over straight away. But if you see these players they took on, let's be honest, a very talented Euro, yes. Ugarte, De Ligt is good when he's good. Xerxes and Mazraoui, I mean, is that Manchester United to take them to the next step? I'm not sure. And at least they should have a big number 9, a great number 9 in there, and they don't have it.
What the heck are they going to do, Jules? They get the 200 million they spent when they decided Ten Hag was going to stay. We all said that was a mistake. Proved out that we were right over what Ineos decided. How much money have they got now in the bank? They have to pay, obviously, to set Ten Hag, to get your man now over from Portugal. It all seems like a real mess that's going to take a long time to sort out.
Yeah, I mean, this is costing them around £25 million between sacking Erik Ten Hag and some members of his staff and paying the release clause for Ruben Amorim, which is €10 million. And when you think that they've worked really hard to cut the cost at the club, I mean, Sir Alex Ferguson, a lot of redundancy, all of that, that saving saved them £30 million. Now this is going to cost them in the space of a few days, 25 million. So all the hard work you've done to try to make your accounting and your money a bit better, in 2 days, it's all gone. And then they spend 300 million in the summer. There will not be much money available for him in January. And when you think, we know already, I mean, he might change, but if we believe what he did in Sporting and how dogmatic he was as a coach, the 3-4-2-1 should stay the same, really. I find it hard that, especially at his age, with the limited experience that he has, he could go now and try to rebuild this club and bring this team back towards the top with something completely different to everything he's done in his career so far. So even that 3-4-2-1 formation, I'm not really sure where Rashford fits and Garnacho fits, and Anthony, I mean, even less. And some of his midfielders. Okay, so what, you're going to try to sell a lot of them in January and then reinvest that money? You'll have to do that quickly because you only have 1 month of transfer window in January. That's not going to be easy. So he might have to wait until the summer to be able to do what he wants and get the squad that he wants if he's not happy with the players that he has right now. So it won't be easy for him, that's for sure.
Red Devils, let's have a serious chat about what's brewing at our beloved club. As your dedicated United insider, I've spent weeks analysing the potential appointment of Ruben Amorim, and there are some striking parallels we need to discuss. Just like Ten Hag arrived from Ajax with the impressive domestic record, Amorim comes from Sporting CP with similar credentials. But here's what should make us pause and think, are we potentially walking down the same path again? From my analysis and sources close to Portuguese football, Amorim's tactical approach bears remarkable similarities to Ten Hag's initial philosophy. Both emphasize possession-based football, trust in youth development, and have experience in developing players in leagues outside the Premier League pressure cooker. Here's what concerns me, fellow United faithful. While Amorim's success at Sporting is undeniable, we must remember that the Premier League is a different beast altogether. Ten Hag's struggle to adapt should serve as a crucial lesson. Like Ten Hag before his United appointment, Amorim's experience is primarily limited to one league. The question we must ask ourselves, is this another risk we're willing to take? The Premier League's intensity, the media pressure, and the weight of United's expectations created significant challenges for Ten Hag. Would Amorim face the same adaptation hurdles? However, it's not all doom and gloom. Amorim has shown exceptional man management skills and tactical flexibility at Sporting. His work with young players could be particularly valuable for our emerging talents. Unlike Ten Hag, Amorim has demonstrated a more adaptive approach to different playing styles, which could be crucial for Premier League success.